for task 2, which most of you should be at this point, you should be focusing on completing that along with task 3, and we'll touch on the deadlines a little further along. But for task 2, really the focus of it is assessment and data collection in the process of measuring and informing student learning. So basically, in the task, you'll demonstrate your understanding, analysis, and application of the assessment, how to aspects of data collection to measure and inform the student learning. One piece here, important to focus: any elementary level student teachers must select literacy as your focus for task 2. And that can be pretty wide and broad as far as how you build that into your responses. So, but I did want to call that out because I know there's been a lot of questions about that. Little bit of information, going a little more detail, granularly into what's required. Obviously, need to respond to all the parts of the guiding prompts. Reference your artifacts in supporting your written evidence. Describe, analyze, and reflect on your evidence. And then here's a listing of the 6 artifacts that are required to be included throughout the task. And you'll see in parentheses after each of those that are listed, that's the page count and approximately the total amount of pages that are expected to be written on this task are about 7. So again, I want to emphasize for task 2 that it's all about assessment, analysis, and data. When we ask for you to talk about baseline data or assessment data, we need to see data and numbers as you're responding, and that's very important. And a couple more tidbits that I'm going to share, which kind of go more broadly across all of the tasks as you're completing them, is please focus on speaking to your artifacts in your written commentary. It does not do you any justice to just attach them. You must reference and describe them in your commentary. This is true for all tasks, obviously. The activities, materials, resources, technology must be for use during the assessment and not in the lessons leading up to the assessment. And there's a lot more information in the FAQ section of the website regarding that. You must choose focus students for whom you will need to modify the assessment based on their particular learning needs. You will not be successful in talking about your focus students if you have not have no modifications for each of them. So a couple words of wisdom as you're going through. So the next couple slides contain the questions and the answers that I had just previously spoke about. And they go into a fair amount of detail in addressing the questions that were raised. And as Hap said, encourage folks to, as we're going along, if you have questions about anything, please enter them in as Susan and Hap described, so that we can, get that information out to you. I think one thing we observed from the last webinar with the chat feature was that, besides it being a little distracting while we were presenting, there was a lot of questions that were coming pretty rapid fire, so it was hard to really try to stay on point with trying to help address those. So I think if the way we're taking this approach this time, it will be much more productive for everybody to get one set of answers back from ETS and DESE as we move forward.